Right everyone, and welcome to another week of League Racing highlights. And to get timestamps in the description, once again just Apollo and the F1 League this week. But yeah, sorry there hasn't been one of these for a few weeks now. As you'll see throughout the video, actually you'll sort of start to see actually why I've been quite hesitant to get this one done, because yeah, I don't want to really like spoil it right at the start, but yeah, these races don't really go to plan. But yeah, there's that, and there's also sort of the more, I think, important thing, which is a video I'm working on at the moment, which is one I'm actually hoping will get to Codemasters somewhere or another, just because I'm really sort of sick of this game, like how bad it is online. Like, the rest of the game is very good, but just the online drags it down so much. And like around this time I was just thinking, is it even possible to enjoy league races? And honestly, I'm not even sure sometimes, because there's just so much random stuff that should not be, you know, in a video game. Like, you know, when people are trying to like compete with each other here, and like there's just so many instances where it's all just luck of the draw really. Are you going to get like shot on or not? And yeah, I'm just had enough really. I'm going to put a detailed video together highlighting as many problems as possible. If you have footage that you know you want to, you don't mind me using in the video, then feel free to tweet me with it, because it'd be good to have it actually. And yeah, look out for that coming soon. On to this then, the Apollo League, the fourth to last round of the season then, and we qualified down to 11th place then, which I was not happy about, and even less happy when I saw some of the lines people were taking, but I guess that should be expected when you run normal corner cutting. But anyway, we're on the grid then, only 11th, we're still in the championship fight, only 13 points off the championship leader. Lights are coming on then, and away we go in Austin, and it is not that great a start to be honest, but we'll see if we can get any places here in turn one. We're on the outside line then, and a few people diving at the inside. We've just sort of got nowhere to go really on the outside, but it doesn't look like we've lost anything actually, and we're still in 11th place then as we exit the first corner. And yeah, I guess one upside is that we do get to start on fresh tyres and having started down 11th, but we've got lag going on here then. Pain Roadrunner sort of lagging a little bit, a lot of ghosting going on, and yeah, a bit there for Roadrunner as well as we get to a bit later on in the lap. And we're going to dive up the inside and into the left-hander, and with side by side it looks like we may just have got this one done then. And yeah, he does not have as good a drive as us then out of the corner, and yeah, now it runs the back of Sinan as well then, who was very slow out there. I think his car went AI for a second, he may have been recording something, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's holding on for the time being. Then we've got a good run towards the final corner then, up the inside, and yeah, we're side by side then. Looks like we're just about edging ahead as we cross line to begin lap 2, and we're heading up now towards the first corner then on the inside. Is he going to run the outside of us here? We haven't really braked in the best place there. In fact, yeah, too cautious on the inside, and he's just driven around the outside there, and through he goes into 9th position. So yeah, not the opening to the race that we would have wanted, but yeah, later on in the lap then we do line him up into the left-hander at the end of the long straight, but we completely outbrake ourselves there, and yep, he is back through then and into 9th position for the time being. And on to the next lap then, he's actually passed DLT now, but DLT fights back at him into the left-hander then, and they're still side by side now through its long right, sort of the reverse turkey turn 8 as people like to call it. And DLT's been forced out wide there. We'll see if we can mug him now then. We're on his outside, he's not seeing us there, and he's forced us off the track. And we run off then. Azar reaction sets fast up of the race in the lead, but then he disappears from the lead, and we've got an illegal overtake on him. Because that makes complete sense, doesn't it? And yeah, the thing at the top is not updating itself to, you know, correct the monumental mistake it always makes on this game. And we've got ourselves a 5-second stop-go penalty for an illegal overtake on someone who is 9 places above us in the race. I don't even know what to say. You see why I so badly want to make this video, don't you? And yep, I mean, there is one sort of beacon of hope going on for us at this point though, which is that James is disconnected, and yeah, and now DLT's decided to let us through there. I don't know if he had like a yellow flag or something, and yeah, we gained some places there. And yeah, some people a bit earlier than us, so that puts us up into 6th position for the time being. As we close up to the back of Sinan here, and we actually go for a bit of a late lunge there, sort of closing up to him, but we compromised our line quite badly there on the exit by doing that, and he does fight back at us. But yeah, we certainly went for that one then. Didn't really look like there was an opportunity to pass there, but we certainly sort of made it into one. And yeah, some nice build-to-build battling there through that little stadium complex there, as he's struggling quite a lot on the tyres, it seems, there compared to us. He would have had to start on his qualifying tyres, of course, but yeah, that's probably explains it then, as James did actually reconnect there. As you saw, he was closing up to the back of us again. As into the bits we come then to, well, for a one pit stop, but we've got 5 seconds added onto it then, so yeah, we're going to probably lose some positions here in the pits. And yeah, they can't get to work on the car because, yeah, just I don't even I don't even know what to say about like the game, to be honest. But yeah, we've lost out to DLT. Then we haven't actually lost out to Sinan because he had front wing damage. So I mean, there's that going for us. But again, if we're not in a good position to get any points, then it doesn't really do us much good. As yeah, out of the pits then, and we've got DRS and we're lining up to the back of DLT here, thinking maybe we could do what we did to Sinan last time, except we're too far back and we outbrake ourselves, we run into the side beam and spin ourselves out. 100% my fault there, just too sort of losing the plot a bit, I guess you could say. And yeah, he lets us through there. He really should not have done that. That was not his fault at all. I told him it was not his fault, but yeah, he slowed down and let us through. And yeah, we find ourselves down in 8th place once all the pit stops have finally shaken themselves out. And we're closing up to the back of Elusive Kev then on the penultimate lap. Our teammate was going quicker than us, but fair play to him, he didn't try and pass us. Modestly respects our championship challenge that is still just about hanging on by a thread at this point, as we're trying to pass Kev here, who is on, I think, a bit fresher tyres than us. And we're going to see if we can lunge up the inside into the left hand, and not that likely. Even if we had managed to get through there, we were never going to get a good drive out of the corner, to be honest. And yeah, he holds on for the time being then, but looks like we are quicker than him, and hopefully we can pass him before, well, obviously pass him. So yeah, into the final corner then, and we're now going to begin the final lap of the race. Can we salvage some points from this one then? Still 3 more rounds to go after this. We just need to get some points on the board here to just keep the wheels going, I guess. But we run too far wide there in turn 1, trying to go around the outside. If we go out onto the marbles, that loses us a position to our teammate then. And yeah, I guess he's going to see if he can sort of beat up this Arasu a little bit before, well, I guess to sort of open the path up for us then. In fact, that looks like exactly what he's going to do then. Dive at the inside. Kev forced to take a wide line there, and that allows us to get through. We're both going to have DRS here though, but yeah, we should be able to get past him then. We've got a slipstream then, and towards the left-hander here then. We're side by side, and we have missed that braking point quite badly there, and he's going to go through. So is Kev. We'll have to see if we can dive back past him again then, but no, that was not going to happen ever, to be honest. And yeah, I feel that this season I have been hard done by a lot. Even in this race, I feel like I was with that stop-go penalty, but not gonna lie, my head completely went after that in this race. And yeah, for the most part, this bad race was my fault, and yeah, that has left our championship not looking too great at this point. We went into this one 13 points, I think, behind Sinan and 10 behind James, as we, yeah, sum up that race then across the line and into the barrier. And yeah, I mean, I guess luckily for us, they didn't really have great races either. But I mean, Azar's been playing catch up since the start of the season, and he got the win there. And yeah, he is closing up fast to the 3 of us then, and I think still about 7 of us mathematically in at this point then. But yeah, as I say, still 3 rounds to go in this one, and coming up next then is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the 3rd to last round of the season. And this was a very interesting one last season, I remember, because the tyre wear is quite bad here, even on 25%, and if you can't look after the tyres enough, then, especially if you have to start your qualifying set, you can sometimes be forced into doing a 2-stop round here, or sort of having to suffer on the slower, well, the soft tyres round here, which is the hardest of the 3 compounds. As yeah, we go 7th then with that lap time. It gets bumped down to 8th, unfortunately, by the end, with Azar taking pole by an absolute mile there. I think he actually did have a glitch pole position time there. I was trying to remember when that was, and I think it actually was in this race, because I think that is something that is going to be brought up in that video as well. But yeah, we're 8th then on the grid. We'll have to see what we can do. We've got our 3 main rivals in the championship, 1st, 2nd and 3rd on the grid. So yeah, the lights are coming on now then in Abu Dhabi. And away we go then. And it's an okay start, I think, this time. We have got the inside line in for turn 1, so maybe we can dive up the inside of Payne here into the first corner. And looks like we've done that with side by side with them, then a little bit of contact there. Heading through turn 2 now, then we're on the inside. We're going to have the outside line for turn 3, but then he's gone into the side of us. We've lost our wheel. We've gone straight off into the barrier at high speed. Race over. Why do I even bother? And yeah, that is that. And if it was going to be hard for us to win the championship before that race, it's just got a whole lot harder for us. And I did not stay around much longer to see what happened, so I don't have the results or anything, but I do have the championship standings after this race, which are on the screen right now. And yeah, we've got a hope for a lot of stuff going our way in the final 2 races. A good track for us at Japan, so maybe, you never know. And yeah, Brazil, let's not go there with title deciders, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And we're sort of on the back foot going into this one, which is sort of something we have going for us, which hasn't been the case in the past in Brazil. But yeah, that is it then for this week's Apollo. Moving on to the final race for today then, and it is the F1 League Season 5, Round 5, and it is the Spanish Grand Prix at Catalonia. And yeah, we come into this one then. Well, if we needed to get some points on the board before, then we desperately need to now, because yeah, Russia, as we probably expected, did not go to plan for us. Obviously wasn't anticipating getting put in the wall by a lag car, but I mean, I probably should have, but yeah, that happened. And then obviously when the rain came down and we were already looking out of it at that point, we just made another unnecessary mistake and just had no pace after that. And yeah, it ended up in a rather resounding defeat by well, certainly the front group, and certainly my teammate as well. We finished the lap down in the end in 14th position. And yeah, that means that from the 4 races too far, well, so far we've only had 2 points finishes, so yeah, we really do need to get some points on the board then. But Catalonia is a track that I do like quite a lot. It is, I think, one of my best tracks on this game. And I mean, seeing here, you know, qualifying session with, you know, actual strict corner cutting, we're not doing too badly then. We're in 6th position and we're on a better lap this time around, so we'll see where we go then with this one. We do actually stay in 6th position then, but we're close to only 3 tenths off the pole. We're just under 4 tenths actually, but you know, still pretty close there. Right on the pace of those in front of us, with Galvanic Gamer then taking pole with James in 2nd, Ward in 3rd, our teammate Maestro is in 4th, and the championship leader Luke is in 5th at the time. Well, I think he was in championship leader, I think so anyway. But yeah, on to the race then, and it's a 2-stop race. It looks like we should be able to do that without too many troubles. Hard tyres just seem to go forever around this track. You may even be able to do a 1-stop if you start on the mediums, I think. We've got lights coming on now then. And away we go, and it is a pretty decent start there. Looks like a bit of wheel spin there for our teammate, but it looks like the front 2 have got away very well, especially James and Toro Rosso. He's got the inside line then, and so be in fact, and we're actually going to pass Duke there into the first corner. And yeah, up front James is taking the lead then. As round turn 3 we go then, we'll see what we can do from here. But yeah, obviously going to be a bit careful with our teammate there in front of us. And yeah, a bit wide there into turn 4, so that may allow someone to get close to us, but I don't think they're going to be able to. And in fact, Luke has lost the back end there, and then I think he actually got taken out by someone just after that as well. So that has sort of taken a bit of what was a threat behind us away there. And yeah, we just have to hope we can stay with this front group now then, and not let any of those medium tyre runners sort of hold us up at any point. But yeah, on to being on lap 2 then, and we are now landing at Warden. down the pit straight, he goes defensive. We take a bit of slipstream and then just take the race in line. So yeah, through we go then into 4th position at this point. So looking like a pretty good start to this race then, as we've got the front two certainly battling quite a bit there, and Maestro waiting to pounce on any mistake they might make. And in fact, as I say that, on lap 4, James has gone into the wall there. It looks like there's been a bit of contact between him and Galvanic Gamer then for the lead. So that was a big shame there for James to probably have picked up some damage there, I think. And yeah, on to the end of lap 5 then we come into the pits. I thought Maestro was going to come in on lap 6, so yeah, I mean this lap was fine for me to pit, so I just went with it. I didn't really want to risk going all the way to lap 7 because I wasn't sure if the tyres would have completely dropped off the cliff by then. And yeah, this was the initial strategy anyway, to go to lap 5, so yeah, we're going to go on some medium tyres then, maybe even be able to get an undercut, who knows. And yeah, we rejoin into a nice bit of clear track then, actually, in what is 9th place, because once again the positions are messed up on this great game. But yeah, on to the beginning of lap 8 then, we do now see quite a few cars coming out the pits, including our teammate. And he stayed out a lap longer than we expected then, and that looks like has actually cost him position to us for the time being, as we so nearly run into the back of the line there, as we braked a lot later than him there. And he's actually run wide now in 10th, and that has allowed us to take the position off him. Looks like Galvanic Gamer has stayed ahead of us, so having done his first pit stop of the race. And yeah, on to the end of that lap now then, and we see the two Force Indians battling now in front of us. It looks like us and our teammate are going to be battling quite a bit, as he's up the inside there into turn 1. And yeah, obviously we weren't going to fight that one too hard because he is our teammate. And even though I was sort of ahead and would like to go for some, obviously want to go for a win here, but yeah, got to remember that he is the one that has been sort of leading this championship challenge so far. So yeah, obviously wouldn't have been cool of us to sort of fight that one too hard. But yeah, into turn 5, and Hamilton finally gives Maestro no space there whatsoever, so he just barged him out of the way there. Don't blame him, to be honest. And yeah, now we've got to see if we can do the same pretty much. He's on quite old tyres though, so we should be able to get a good run on him, as he's going very slowly there through turn 8 or 9, I can't remember what it is. We're alongside him then with DRS, and he just forced us off the track there. We smashed through the brake boards. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I mean, to just be that blatant about running us off the track, I mean, come on. We're down to 9th place and we've lost, well, we've dropped Line again, who is lagging once again. And yeah, the season 3 winner is yeah, lagging a bit and has once again run wide in turn 3, and that's allowed us to retake the position off him then, back up into 8th place. And look at that, half a lap later and we've already caught to the back of Hamilton van, as we're all over the back of him once again and through a right-hander. And what a place to suddenly slow down, that makes complete sense. And yeah, we're so and then he's barely giving us any space. We're running outside and he's going to run us off the track once again there, so that's very nice of him to do that. And yeah, we're going to get a good run now at the final corner though, because his tyres are dead. And yeah, we'll get a good run here then with DRS. He thinks about trying to cover us, but never going to work. And I've had enough at this point. I'm taking back the racing line there. And yeah, I'm through into 7th place, and we have lost out to Pepsi then on that one stopper. So yeah, we've got to get back past him at some point then soon. As in turn 2, we've been blown up again. 5 races, 3 non-scores. 2 of them we could do absolutely nothing about. I don't even know what to say about this season at this point. And yeah, that is it then. Another non-score for us. We are on, well, we're having an absolute shocker so far. And just this run of bad luck is just not going away from us at this point. And yeah, it was, I can't remember who won. I don't even think I have the final results, but I should remember this, but it'll say on the screen because I'm showing the standings right now. So yeah, well done, insert name here, on your win. And yeah, that's it then for this week. We're down in 13th and in the championship, and we're hanging on desperately in the Apollo Championship. So yeah, if you enjoy this one, leave a like. I'm amazed that this video has managed to go on this long with the amount of problems there were in these races. Look out for that video I'm gonna have coming soon. And yeah, I shall see you next time then. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.